Hello and good morning to everyone. My name is Muhammad Harraz bin Muhammad Shahril from 4Asset, and today I will be talking to you about bullying. Now, what is bullying? Bullying is an ongoing and deliberate misuse of power, whether verbal or physical, that will cause physical or psychological harm to others. It usually involves one person or a group of person attacking verbally or physically another person who is defenseless. Okay, now that you know what bullying is, let's talk about the three major types of bullying. Those three types of bullying are physical, vocal or verbal, and cyberbullying. Number one, physical bullying is usually when the bully physically attacks the victim, either kicking, punching, pinching, or just making a practical prank or pulling a practical prank on the victim, such as pulling their chair when they're trying to sit or just pulling their hair. This type of bullying can cause both short-term and long-term physical and psychological damage. Secondly, let's talk about verbal or vocal bullying. This is when the bully calls the victim names or insults, or even worse, sometimes racial or homophobic slurs. This is one of the most common forms of bullying, as not only is it easy to do, the bully can also easily get away with it if the teacher wasn't there. This can also cause serious psychological harm to the victim. Finally, let's talk about cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is just like vocal or verbal bullying, except that it's done through the internet, such as messages, social media, or even YouTube videos online. Let's say you're talking to a friend on WhatsApp and they start calling you names, calling you insults. That is also cyberbullying. Now, cyberbullying may seem like your friend is just teasing you a little bit, but it could escalate to something worse. Now that you know the three major types of bullying, now let's talk about what you should do if you are bullied. If you are experiencing bullying at school, then you could talk to someone you trust. Now, someone you trust is like either your mother, your father, your older siblings, or sometimes even younger siblings. And even better when you're at school, your teacher. Talking not only makes you feel better about the incident, it also gives you some kind of confidence, usually. And then, if the bullying gets worse, then you could just report to the teacher. When you report it to the teacher might do something about it. Though, sometimes you have to do things yourself. In that case, when the teacher doesn't help you, just go to the bully and ask them politely but firmly to stop disturbing or bullying you. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but you need to try. Okay, now, after this, I will be talking to you about how to avoid being a victim of bullying. Now, to avoid being a victim, you must appear confident. Bullies, they tend to search for their victims. The bullies' victims are usually people who lack self-confidence, have low self-esteem, or just look anxious or weak and defenseless. To avoid being bullied, you must be confident. Straighten up your back, talk with a firm tone, and we have a great chance of a bully not picking you as their victim. Other than that, you should also make eye contact. As I've said in the previous point, bullies look for weak or defenseless people for their victim. A firm and direct eye contact to the bully sends the message that you are not to be trifled with, or that you are someone who will defend yourself. It also shows dominance or confidence. that you should also be aware of bullying hotspots. If you know the place has a lot of bullies or there's a lot of bad people, don't go there. I think that is the number one advice or number one thing that you should do. Avoid places where there are a lot of bullies. Now, now that I've talked to you about how to avoid being a victim, okay, now that is all from me. Again, I am Muhammad Harraz with Muhammad Shahril from 4 Asset, and thank you for listening to me.